Day 5 would see us hit up our first sporting event in the country as we snagged ourselves some tickets to the first game of the J-League season. Our adopted team, Tokyo Verdy, who had just been promoted back into the top flight of Japanese football, were taking on the Yokohama F. Marinos, who decided to bring the cold, damp weather with them up from that frigid city.
Our hands are so cold.
It's so cold, it's freezing. So cold.
The match would take place at Ajinomoto Stadium, home to both Tokyo Verdy as well as FC Tokyo.
How's the dog? Welcome. What is he?
Yeah, what Adam said. And it wasn't long before we witnessed a little bit of magic.
Okay, it's half-time, Frank. What are you thinking?
I'm cold. I'm wet. But it's a good game. We're winning. Go up the Verds. Up the Verds.
We decided to try and fight off the frostbite with some hot mulled wine, which went down an absolute treat. But unfortunately for the 53,000 plus fans in the stands, Verdy would suffer a pretty heartbreaking loss in the closing moments in their return to the top flight. But let's not linger on the negative as we finally made our way to Akihabara, the otaku capital of Tokyo. If you're after little plastic representations of your favorite characters from the worlds of anime, manga and more, then you're in the right spot. And wouldn't you know it, we just so happened to drop a little bit of yen.
It's too much sex.
We definitely saw some things that we can't erase from our brains, but a perfect place to try and suppress those memories would be at Super Potato, a small branch of video game stores specializing in the sale of retro gaming goodness. The Akihabara branch is the flagship store. Spread over several floors, this spot has an untold amount of video game gold. So I came into this trip telling myself I wasn't going to get sucked into the rabbit hole of buying vintage games, but once inside the narrow aisles of Super Potato, I was a goner. I mean, I don't even have a way to play most of these games, but the store was packed to the gills with things that you just don't see every day in the West. And I'm sure you'll be able to find better deals in other stores further outside of one of Tokyo's busiest districts. The prices were still reasonable enough to warrant a few more purchases. My only regret? Not buying more. But all that shopping would build up a pretty big appetite. Nothing our first ramen of the trip wouldn't help annihilate. After fueling up, it was back to Shinjuku, our home away from home, as we were keen to hit up Golden Guy yet again and find ourselves yet another inviting boozer to drink the night away. And when you know it, we found a spot right up our alley.
And all the roads we have to work was winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. I have just had to endure another man, not me, from Australia, and I hated him. He was the worst person. Every fibre of my being, I hated him. Terrible. But like, I hate him. I want him to die, and I hate you.
And if you're ever watching this, you Australian.
One bad seed notwithstanding, we had a fantastic time at Bar Anime Holic, and despite the language barrier, even managed to get into a pretty nice conversation with the bartender, sharing our favourite animes, characters and more.